Thank you to HUEL for sponsoring this video. More on them in just a bit.
Citizens of the Reject Nation, we are about to watch one of my most anticipated trailers of all time in the history of movies, the history of trailers. We're about to watch Superman. We just watched Ironheart this morning, which already made me happy, and now Superman. What a day. Please leave a comment below, and Greg and I might answer some of our favorites on the podcast on Friday. Cannot wait a moment more. It's time for Superman.
Are you being serious right now?
Beautiful metropolis.
Yeah.
You'd let
Lois.
me interview you as Superman.
Whoa.
Sure.
Just like the first movie.
Huh? But it says Clark this
Ready?
time.
Let's do it, Cronkite.
It is as Parker, right? Yeah.
Superman.
Cronkite.
That's the way
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some
it's a
might.
lot of
it's
fire,
it's a
but-
lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions.
Hey, Rick
that's
Flag.
funny.
My actions? I stopped a war.
That must look so
Maybe.
beautiful.
Oh.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you
not how he sees
illegally
it.
entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman.
Awesome.
Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States.
representing
because
anybody
you
except for
Oh,
Too
the
defensive.
interrogation, the
doing good.
Oh my god.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People are going to die.
Wow.
This is awesome.
Oh, it's Superman.
Oh, and
Damn.
people helping him up. Wow.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
He has personality.
Oh man, the scope.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Whoa.
Your choices,
Yeah, crypto.
your actions.
Look at all the humans he saved.
That's what makes you who you
The pocket
Oh,
shots, man. Love the lensing. Yeah.
Mr.
Eddie's Mr.
Whoa.
Terrific. The T-Spheres.
He's not a man.
Metamorpho.
Oh, in prison with him.
Oh.
Whoa.
He's
Somehow
an
become the
it.
focal point of the entire world's
Oh.
conversations.
Ah,
I will
Justice
not
League.
accept that.
Whoa.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
Huh.
Wow.
Nice.
These camera moves are crazy.
So fun. Oh, man. Beautiful.
You have a dog?
Goddamn right he does.
Oh. Mighty Crab Joy. Oh.
Oh. That's what I'm talking about.
Superman. I've waited so long.
Well, hello again, HUEL, H-U-E-L, today's video sponsor. Lately, I've been loving talking about HUEL because I've used it as an excuse to give you guys updates on my fitness journey. Back in January of this year, I was 218 pounds. Last time I weighed myself, I'm down to 179. But this time I decided to take a fancy picture. Close to the mirror. Good lighting. And I did have to flex, but I'm making progress. I'm almost at the six-pack. Look at it. Almost at the six-pack. It's almost 40 pounds down, and one of the biggest game changers for me has easily been by staying consistent with healthy go-to meals, such as HUEL's Black Edition Ready to Drink. As a matter of fact, I just shot a video with Andrew and Aaron this morning. Both came without having had any breakfast, and of course they were hungry. First thing they did, they got themselves a HUEL in the office fridge, baby. Because I bought plenty. It's a complete meal in a bottle, man. It is tasty. It's packed with over 35 grams of protein, 27 vitamins and minerals, slow-release carbohydrates, and low sugar, plus fiber. No prep, no cleanup, just grab it, go, shoot a reaction or whatever else you do. Yeah, whether I'm filming, working out, or frankly too tired to cook, which is pretty much every day, this bottle's been a lifesaver. It actually tastes good too. My favorites are like the main ones, the chocolate and the vanilla, but I also really do like their strawberry banana. I also got iced coffee. And when in doubt, you can always go with the variety pack if you don't know which one you want. And at under $5 a meal, it's helped my routine and my budget. And now to be able to provide for the host here. Huel's already sold over 500 million worldwide. And if you're looking to eat better, stay on track, or just stop skipping meals, you've got to try this. So if you'd like to support the channel and support your body, new customers get 15% off plus a free gift at huel.com/rejects with code rejects. Once again, huel.com/rejects, code rejects, 15% off and a free gift. Minimum $75 purchase. Skip the stress, not the nutrition. Try Huel today for complete nutrition bottled.
Well, that is our first full-length trailer for Superman. We've seen footage, we have waited, and now the summer of Superman is here. I could gush for hours, so I won't yet. I will let other people speak first because I'll be talking about this for months. Let's start down to the end. Aaron!
Oh my God, that was awesome. I am overwhelmed with joy and excitement. I think it's awesome. We have a Superman that actually has personality and he got defensive about the fact that, you know, people were questioning his position in the world, and the way that the action is set up looks really strong. I love the chemistry between Lois Lane and Clark Kent. The fact that she knows this early is really interesting as well. It doesn't seem like these other characters that are involved are going to be taking the focus away from Superman. This is a Superman movie at its core. You feel the heart, you see the action, like we're getting the glimpse of the story. And I just love the charisma and charm we get from David Corenswet so early in these few clips. Even when he was like, "Hey buddy, eyes up here," I was like, yes, just finally someone I can get behind and be excited for, and can be a person in and of himself, but also a symbol for hope. And you see that not only through the man himself, but through how the world interacts with him. And you even get this personal sense of him. He is both super and he is both man. And I'm finally happy we're getting to see that, not only in the form of a movie, but also for the first time for larger audiences, and for them to incorporate these comic booky elements into it. I am so excited, but I'm more excited to see what my friends think.
John?
That was righteous. That was really cool. I mean, I feel like everything you said resonates. I feel like this kind of, if the movie feels like the proportionality of this trailer, it sets my nerves at ease about everyone feeling like it might be overpacked and stuff. And yeah, I love that this is interrogating the idea of Superman, showing some of his naivety as a person. And what really struck me too is like these lens choices, these camera moves, these like precise and fluid motions that seem like an addition to James Gunn's style, along with like these wide-angle lens shots that he likes to do. There's plenty more to talk about, but yeah, this was really gripping, dazzling, action-packed, and sweeping.
Yes, sweeping.
I'm very moved by it. I thought that was a beautiful, beautiful experience. I'm surprised by the vitriol this movie gets, and I really hope this trailer shuts some of those people up. Let's ignore them for now, and let's just focus on our own feelings, because, damn, the commentary in this trailer, too, about him being like, hey, you know, you're kind of an illegal immigrant, and watching how, like, the military wants to control him, and you see that with the other superheroes, that it looks like they have those supers under their control, right? And he wants to act independently. But the connection with humanity, the connection with the people, like watching the people lift him up when he needs it, seeing Clark actually have like shades of personality, like as they're playing this back in front of us, you got moments where Clark is like having a good time at the office. And I love that flipperoo of the conversation, as you said in the trailer, how it is him because she knows he's Superman. She can have the interview with Superman, but it can be her boyfriend.
What a fun inversion.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Lois and Clark, but then watching how as she presses on, that dynamic is so crucial to this, right? Because they're in that apartment as boyfriend, girlfriend, and like, yeah, let's have a fun interview. Let's have a fun conversation. Give me the interview. And because there's so much personal feelings involved, it's like that multi-layer of, you're not only getting defensive towards the question, but it's provoking more because it's your girlfriend at the same time who's kind of questioning your character, when she's just doing her job. Yeah. There's like multiple layers there. So it's showing that there's going to be nuance and complexity, and it's going to be Lois and Clark. It's going to be Clark and Superman. I think this is an absolutely beautiful trailer, and I like how the first teaser trailer shows a little bit more of the tone and somberness, and this time they expand upon it, and all. It doesn't feel like a reactionary trailer, where they're like, shit, we heard some hate, so let's try to like make up for that. No, this feels like what James Gunn wanted to present, and it feels like a natural extension of it, because it's a lot of the same footage, but a lot more extension towards seeing these different shades throughout with some bitchin' action too.
I have been saying from the beginning, this is the movie I think we need, and I think people get upset and think I'm hyperbolic when I say things as big as movies can change the world. And I think that pop culture is culture, and I think that culture is what humanity does, is we establish a societal norm. We establish an expectation. If enough people have a belief and if enough people form around something, that's how the world changes. We need hope, and the world needs hope. The world needs to look up. The world needs brightness. And this trailer, I got emotional because it brings us that, and it brings us connection. And this trailer brought us nothing but people relating to each other and people finding ways to navigate a difficult world. I love what you had to say about the friction between them. I love the idea of Superman being ostracized for doing the right thing. I love that this is a world where kindness is considered outdated, because that is our world. I love that this is a world where a man wears a suit so kids don't get scared because of how terrifying the world that is. This world is just as ours is. And most of all, I love that it's a world where Ma and Pa Kent have this ability to ground Clark and have a line like, I cleaned your boots, I'll go get them for you, feel like it's so much of how he was raised. We have so few moments of Ma and Pa Kent, and all of them just hit me like a ton of bricks. The world he grew up in, the farm, the style of his living, juxtaposing the polish of LexCorp, juxtaposing Stag Industries, juxtaposing all of the metahumans being trapped in a cage. You've got this really warm, lived-in farm and this really cold, sterile prison of metahumans, and then you've got the polish of Metropolis that feels more vibrant and bright than ever. These three worlds blending together of the three worlds of Superman, all captured in 3 minutes, and all about hope and vibrancy and brightness. This whole trailer, you're talking about sweeping and the brightness and the hope in it. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I truly think sometimes we need something to look up to, and sometimes that's a movie, and sometimes that's a character that is representative of what we need. And I think we're at an incredible crossroads where we need the superhero culture to have led to a point where we've got something that is a big event, but that big event isn't going to say, what if it's sets of heroes fighting each other because of, jurisdictional issues? What if it's sets of people saving each other because of a mythical gauntlet that wipes out half existence, that becomes a commentary that retroactively makes us look at the darkest period in our recent past in the last 5 years that somehow feels so prescient? What if we've got something that is this zeitgeist shift, but it's us coming together and us being hopeful? So, I got largely off the internet so I could enjoy this movie, and after this trailer, feel so good about that decision.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Sorry, that was long.
I want to hear. No, don't be sorry. John barely spoke. I want to hear more. John, what do you think about Lex?
Oh, I mean, like the intensity there was. I am especially excited to see what Nicholas Hoult does here because. I mean, yeah, we all know his range, but this seems like a chance to really grip and command the screen. And then the couple of images we have seen of him thus far, and granted, he's making very intense faces a lot of the time, but like he really does look like a heavy presence that can match this beacon of hope and justice and all that stuff. And I like that you have that tempering of, yeah, the questioning of Superman all around. Like this whole trailer is questioning Superman in so many ways, in so many contexts, and then to kind of crest into the third act of the trailer with Lex, with whoever his blade-handed, crony there is, and they're like invading the Fortress of Solitude by the look at it. Like, yeah, it makes him look like a threat, but also an equal opposite pillar. And Nicholas Hoult, like, has been out here these past several years, like really taking a wide range of roles, proving that he has the chops, capital letters. And that's another, like, your superhero movie, they say, is only as good as your villain. And if the commentary that's in this trailer already through other characters, like Lois Lane, his closest person, is already probing at the concept of Superman with such verve, you know, you could only imagine. And Nicholas Hoult's been out here basically saying, like, yeah, you like really taking on that idea that the villain sees themselves not as the villain but as the hero. Like, that feels, again, like it's resonating out of this, and like this whole movie in a way is going to respond to the whole Superman discourse while also giving you a quintessential looking Superman story with some of the classic quintessential characters, along with some additional, you know, rogues and heroes and whatnot. So I mean, like, yeah, the pillars that are represented here between Clark and Lex seem incredibly formidable, and I'm really excited to see them collide. You know,
Good points, man. Good points.
Absolutely. And we got more crypto.
Yeah, Aaron, what do you think about crypto? Look, can I just set him up? Yeah, might as well. Yeah.
I spoke plenty.
Aaron, crypto is a character that has been hotly debated on internet as like overshadowing or too much. Or man, I hated that the stupid outrage in the last trailer when he's like bouncing on him. But what do you think about crypto in this moment?
I thought he was great. I think it's something that, you know, we've largely been missing from Superman media, at least in the live action form, for a number of years, and getting to see how, you know, Superman having this one tether to his planet, at least at the time of what the trailer's showing, and having that be in the form of a dog, somebody that he has to have patience for, but is also seemingly going to be his companion. I'm excited to see Crypto start off as a bad puppy and then evolve into a strong companion for him over the course of the film, or even over the course of the trilogy. But based off of this trailer, I think he's adorable and a great addition, and it's really strange that we haven't had any form of media utilize Crypto to, one, just make Superman more grounded, more relatable. You know, people always say that Superman is boring or Superman is somebody that seems like larger than life, but having him have a dog, having him have a family that is from the Midwest, and even though there's a line in there about, you know, let me clean your boots, I'll get them for you. Like, and it's like, that's such a mom thing to do, you know, like, oh, let me clean your boots before you go to work, honey. But I think just this adds to the feeling of him feeling like one of us, while also challenging these themes of him being something that we should strive to. So I like the fact that he is present in this film, because everybody can relate who has a dog, who grew up with pets, and, you know, just some are a little bit stronger than others, and I feel like that's super relatable. You know, I have a lot of people with dogs in my life, and I grew up with dogs within my surrounding families, and, you know, there's this sort of loving warmth, this unconditional loyalty that dogs have, and I'm sure Crypto will have in this film as well. That's going to add this warmth of love to this. And if we know anything about James Gunn, we know he loves animals. This is based off of his dog Ozu. And, you know, characters like Rocket Raccoon, Groot, Eagly. I think this just is going to continue that tradition of having another lovable icon in the comic book universe. So yeah, I think it's great.
Makes sense that the farm boy would have an animal, right? That's what I love. That's what I love most too, is a farm
They
boy.
showed
man.
so much farm. I got one
Yeah.
more thing I want to
Yeah.
stress for me is that you mentioned during your thoughts that it doesn't look like it's going to. I think Aaron mentioned it's not going to be a Justice League story. It looks like Superman, and there are other characters related. I really love that this trailer shows that it looks to me like there's going to be people that fall in line with the status quo of working for Maxwell Lord and those suits, and then the people that don't are in the prison. And Superman represents the idea of being outside of that, which you spoke to. But I also really love that it looks like Mr. Terrific is finally going to get his time to shine as like a character, because we've got Mr. Terrific, who's essential in the comics. He's a genius. He's got all these elements. And Edi Gathegi is such an incredible actor. And it looks like we've got each of their personalities, even in a 3-minute trailer, getting conveyed. Like, we don't get a lot of any.
Can I interrupt and ask, like, who are all the characters that are in? Who's the metal one?
She's from the Authority, and she's effectively going to be, I believe, a tie-in to the commentary on heroes from the more animosity
you're
side.
talking about which character? Sorry.
The name escapes me right now.
The one he's fighting in the sky.
Yeah,
that guy,
yeah.
This with the lasers and
No,
shit.
no, no.
Yeah.
Right now I'm talking about her.
Hawkgirl?
No, the woman
one
from
from
the
Lex?
Authority. Yeah.
The one with Lex.
Whose name I know, but it's not coming to me right now.
The engineer?
Thank you, jeez.
Yeah.
I was like machine woman. The engineer.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That was really vexing. The engineer I think is going to be
Engineer.
the engineers from the Authority, and I think she's going to be a commentary on Lex's beliefs being proven right. Like when you've got this much power, what you have, and them working together, like in an animosity way. You've got Guy Gardner, who is a Green Lantern Corps member. He's tough pill to swallow. He's a man who makes his own decisions, and we've seen now through the Peacemaker trailer he's going to be in Peacemaker as well, tying in this universe. We got Rick Flag, played by Frank Grillo, who represents like the government side. He is against these characters because basically his son was killed by Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad. So it's going to be, he's got a personal reason to be against people that have this kind of independence and a lack of authority. And that's going to, I think, tie into what we get with Hawkgirl. And Hawkgirl is going to be one of the alien race of multiple reincarnated citizens that are able to, through time, kind of watch and observe from afar. There's a beautiful story of like this Romeo and Juliet journey with Hawkman, where they're reborn through time, but sometimes not at the same time. And there's this beautiful back and forth between them. And her story is so fascinating because she's not of here, but she represents like a helpfulness and a watchfulness. Mr. Terrific is a genius. He has these T-spheres. He is able to invent and see things in like, fifth dimensional chess. He's thinking outside of Batman even. He's a tactician. He is this all-powerful, righteous character that has a very strong belief and moral structure. And I love that character so much because he has like fair play written down one of his arms, and his belief structure is literally written on his sleeve. And I think that the idea of someone in that level of power and authority and concept being that wise and having this ability to look so far ahead, tying into a team and a leadership role is fascinating. I think I hit everyone.
Who's this guy?
So this guy, to me, is not canonically a character. This laser beam guy, I don't know from these few shots. He's not like a guy that would be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. So to me, I think he's going to be working as a Lex core entity, like either it's a creation of Lex or it's a mech suit, because I do think we'll see Lex's mech suits come into play. I think he is something Lex created to thwart. And I also think the Kaiju might be something that we don't know the detailed origins of.
And then there's in the prison with him.
In the prison with him is Metamorpho. Who is played by NoHo Hank.
Hell yeah, NoHo Hank.
Metamorpho's a really fascinating character because he's basically able to cause chemical reactions of the known elements. So he can recreate his body into different elements at will. So he is split into all these different elements that can morph and manipulate and create. And he's actually a reluctant hero because he was created. He was created by Stag Industries. We briefly see Stag Industries in the teaser and a few shots here of that building. And Stag creates Metamorpho. So that's also a commentary on metahumans that are thrust into this world. And that's what I think also the Authority is going to be a commentary on, and these Maxwell Lord, clad heroes. I think I hit everyone.
I think you did, man. Thanks for that.
I forgot character name.
Is it fair to say, I feel like people dog on Superman for being, a Boy Scout is boring, but I feel like so much of what makes Superman an interesting character is also the stuff that makes Spider-Man an interesting character, and people love Spider-Man. It's like just a kid trying to do his best, and Superman just has way more power than that.
I think that's the approachability, right? Is everyone, I think, thinks they can be Superman, and that's the power of that mask, and that's the power of with great power comes great responsibility. I think the trickiness with Superman is Superman wants to be us and is able to be all things and is humble, whereas Spider-Man is amongst us having to be us and is aspiring to be better. Like Spider-Man's always swinging up. Superman is up wanting to be down. And I think there's a relatability where we're all down, we're terrestrial, we're stuck here. And so we can look up a lot easier than it is to imagine looking up and being down. And I think that's why adapting Superman is so hard, because a lot of people can't conceive, if I'm already up, why would I want to be down?
Yeah.
And so to me, Superman represents an ideal that isn't even able to be conceived by human beings to that level of, if I have infinite power, why would I not want more?
Yeah. Let me ask you guys a question. As Greg and John, obviously guys used to do the Superman and Lois show, and Coy, you've grown up reading comics for a long time. What do you think this is bringing different than we've seen in other Superman media before, and how is David Corenswet bringing something new to something? Because we've seen the whole Superman, his position in the world being questioned. We saw that in the Snyder films. How do you think this film's going to approach it differently, and what do you think Corenswet's bringing to the role?
To briefly say, just from the experience I've had with the comics and the adaptations and things, I think this brings a certain charm and charisma that Superman has in a way that we haven't seen, that specific type of charisma. I think all Supermen have brought charisma and a certain, like, riz, as the kids say. But to me, David Corenswet brings a confidence that doesn't feel like arrogance. He brings a, humble, like, farm boy, but he's able to have the facade of how Clark has to be at the office to not be revealed as Superman, how Superman has to be to not feel like Clark. But then you see with Lois, he is both those things. Like, there's a meld. I don't think we've seen that confident Clark without it being like at the cost of the other before. And I think we're also going to see a Clark Kent that is able to seem like a farm boy that couldn't possibly be Superman. So I think we're going to see 3 characters instead of just the traditional 2.
Okay, that's exciting. That's a great answer.
To me, it's just about they're having the modern interrogation of what Superman is, but they're also depicting the quintessential looking Superman. It's just that duality. It's the balance.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think you guys all said it best. Yeah.
That is going to do it for our very thorough conversation about the Superman trailer. Can you tell we're excited? Would love to know if you're excited. Please leave a comment below. Let us know your thoughts on the Superman trailer. Please also follow us on our journey in the podcast on Friday, where we're going to dive way deeper into this. We could have talked about this for an hour, so check out the pod. And please leave a like. Please subscribe. Do all the things. Press the buttons and go look up. We'll see you soon.